A stylist with a very vertical, very pink hairdo appraises you, lifting his glasses to take a better look at you. His face is kind, his features soft, and his makeup? Impeccable.
Oh! How about we... Oh dear. I think I'm getting lost right at the start of all this. I'm so sorry, darling. My brain runs quicker than cheap mascara sometimes. Stupid Barry, disposable Barry, you're doing it again. Oh, just stop talking. I would like that, yes.
He takes a deep breath, shaking off his awkwardness and giving you a friendly smile.
Let's take this from the perfectly coiffed top, shall we? My name is Barry Styles. I am your one-stop shop for looking good, feeling great. Not that I have to work too hard at that because, and I don't know if I made myself clear enough on this point, darling, but you are looking fabulous. Why, hello. I'll be honest, because I like to be clearer than a freshly unblocked pore, I really don't like talking about myself, hun. I'd much rather talk all about you. And eyebrow hydration, of course. You really cannot underestimate how important it is to avoid a thirsty brow, baby. But mostly, I want to talk all about you. In fact, if you'd be so gracious as to indulge me, I'd love to really get under the skin. Oh, not literally, obviously. My products are for external use only. I mean, can I ask you a few questions? Oh, fabulous, darling. Okay. This is super exciting. I just love learning about what other people like. I haven't yet met with a taste I can cater to. So, with that in mind, I simply have to ask. Drum roll. Favorite brand of tweezer? Let's hear it, my little kitten. Tweeze me. Interesting. Smile Republic doesn't get the highest user reviews out there, especially not after they released that combination waffle frying hair curler. But if you want reliability, dependable build quality, and effective results, well, you can pick any other beauty line because Smile Republic is for those who like to live dangerously. So, let me just make a mental note. No need to actually write it down. Got a mind like a steel trap. At least when it comes to tweezers and tweezer-related lifestyle choices. Ask me to remember a job interview or doctor's appointment, and I can't help you. But random hair conditioner trivia? I could give you that for days. Sorry? Right. The critical path. Let us continue right on down with... This is a good one. A classic of a beauty question. We can't have a beauty Q&A without knowing your favorite lipstick color, can we? Mine is pink. Impressive, no? That's what I said. What, pray tell, is yours? Oh, not one for the traditional? I can certainly respect that. There's nothing that says lippy can't be any color you want it to be, after all. Now, don't tell me, darling. Let me guess your fave. Blue. No, green. Strike me as a green. Or teal. Or black. Oh, please say it's black. I've not gone goth in forever. Wait, no, I got it. It's gold, isn't it? Rose gold. Green. No, wait, I already said green. It's gotta be blue then. Maybe teal? This is too hard. I'm just gonna stick with other. Moving on. It's time for our final question. For now. That sounded threatening. Anyway, third cue. What do you think is the biggest reason to wear makeup? Yeah, I get that. We all have things we're self-conscious about, and I think makeup helps. It's one of the things I love most about what I do, helping someone get that boost they need. It's not the lippy and the eyeshadow that makes a person look good, like, truly good. It's how someone carries themselves, you know? Sorry, I spoke a lot again. Of course I did. I'm an overshare. Need to stop that.
Barry still looks embarrassed, but a sweet little flush comes over his pale cheeks, and he smiles at you.
Well, darling, that about wraps up the cues. It was going to be a big 20-question thingy, but I just didn't do it, I suppose. Plus, I forgot half the ideas I had for it when I thought about combs for an hour. Really? That's wonderful, darling. I had a lot of fun, too. Oh, I really hope we can have another fabulous chat again. Well, hello again, darling. Absolutely fab to be in your lumescent company again. What's new with you? I hope all is gorgeous. Hello. So, since we last chatted, I memorized the hex codes of all my favorite shades of pink. And then I forgot them. I was supposed to be organizing all my color palettes before I got distracted by thinking about pink things and trying to name all the stuff I know that's pink. So, anyway, if you were thinking of going with the Smile Republic Berry Red eyeshadow today, I apologize in advance for not knowing where it is. I suppose I do. Which is funny, because if you'd asked me, I'd say my head's empty most of the time. I forget enough things that it should be, but the moment a thought's gone, the space immediately gets filled up with something else. Well, that reminds me, I was actually going to ask if you could help me with that. I mean, from the color coordination on your amazing outfit alone, it's clear you're far, far, far more level-headed than I am, darling, and I'm messier than one gets trying to do their mascara in the back of a moving taxi. If you're offering, I'd absolutely love the help, sweetie. Lately, I've just found it really, really hard to focus on anything. You know, I realized after we spoke last time that I actually can't remember what we talked about. Like, I have little flickers of the conversation, like snapshots almost, but you were really interesting, and I enjoyed chatting, and I feel awful that I can't remember anything as if you weren't and I didn't.
Barry falls silent, the weight of his confession clearly getting to him.
It's more than that, though. For example, if I watched a movie, do you know how much I'd remember by the time we hit the credits? Same thing, just snapshots. Maybe a line or two for a while, but it can be more important stuff than that, too. It could be the happiest day of my life, and I'd still walk away with cliff notes that'll fade in no time at all. Feels like my brain robs from itself. Just takes away the things I experience and leaves an outline in its place. I can feel life crumbling away behind me like a particularly cheap liner pen. try to remind myself of that. I really don't mean to forget. In fact, the harder I try to remember a thing, the more likely it is that I'll struggle to commit it to memory or get distracted by something or whatever. Then again, my stupid brain's a steel trap for stuff that's totally not all that important. It's just whatever silly thing I'm mega focused on at the time. I once learned a whole bunch of meaningless facts about Herne Bay in Kent. At one point, I could quote you every line of I Want to Be Your Gunary or give you the history of the pinball machine. I could have told you all that. Until I got bored and forgot. The only thing that ever really stays is the thing I talk people's ears off about all the time. Cosmetics, product, makeup, and skincare, all that glitz. I'm never not fascinated by the things we style ourselves with, and I guess that's what makes Barry Styles Barry Styles. It's what I can remember, so that's me. Pretty ironic, darling. The closest thing to my heart is only skin deep.
Barry gives you a warm smile.
That's a lovely way of looking at it. You have a beautiful perspective. Oh, yes! I forgot that's what actually started this. I can't remember a single thing, and it looks to me like you're able to keep track of roughly 100 things at once. So, like, how? How can I at least pay attention to the things I want to pay attention to? How do you mean, hun? All sorts of things. Oh, yes, of course, darling. It's so obvious. Yet I never actually do it. Sometimes I think to do it, but then I just don't. Feels like too much, or I convince myself I don't need to. But I do need to, don't I? Heck, even if I forget to bring a notepad, I'm literally never more than 2 inches away from a liner pen in my own arms. Oh, like, I could use the orange eyeshadow as a highlighter for super important notes, because it's a lovely shade and it's always left unused on the palette. And I have this red ink liner that's always been too splodgy for lips, but oh, it looked gorgeous in a notebook. I didn't even think about how fabulous the book itself could look. I'm getting giddy just thinking about glittering up a notebook, like giving my own memories a makeover. This is brilliant. This is just brilliant. Thank you so much. Now, I absolutely must get to work. Hello, beautiful. That's the spirit. I just remembered I've been working on another one of my world-famous Styles Profiles TM surveys. I'm calling my quizzes Styles Profiles now, because it's definitely a thing, I swear. Last time, we took a trip to the wonderful world of cosmetic products, but looking good is only part of feeling good, is it not? For the next stage of my artistically audacious audit, I've drummed up a series of questions all about hygiene and freshness in a second round I like to call Coming Clean. Oh my gosh, me too! It's easily in my top 5 things to discuss with friends and strangers. Of course, I've ensured that none of these questions are too personal, darling. As someone who hangs out in a bathroom all day, I totally understand the importance of discretion. Right, so last time we talked tweezers, we talked makeup, we talked aesthetic. This time around, in the interest of getting to know you more and work out exactly how best to get you at your best, I've got a whole set of queries about the product you like when getting fresh. So, what do you think, hon? Are you up for Styles Profiles TM? Round 2, coming clean. Well, suds me up with soap and foam. I'm so excited. Okay, here we go. Question 1 for round 2 of Styles Profiles TM, which is absolutely gonna be a thing. When it comes to toothpaste, which brand best pleases your pearlies? Ooh, do tell. Smilex, the original toothpaste TM, as their adverts say. I've never understood that tagline. Like, clearly, they're not the first toothpaste. Smilex wasn't even a thing until 2004. And it's plain white mint flavor in an industry standard tube, so it's not doing anything original either. The original toothpaste. Ugh, that tagline's gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. A quality choice, though. Gets the job done without airs or graces. A perfectly practical paste. See? That's a tagline that makes sense. Anyway, I don't mean to floss over dental care, but we can't get incisive over just one subject. It's time to think about soap. Real straightforward one, this. When it comes to hand soap, how should it be? Bars or liquid, blocky or squirty? Do they need to be a classic brick or bottles of squeezy wetness where it's at? When you've got it in your hands, should you be rubbing or pumping? Exactly, of course. I always like to say that there is no wrong way to soap. Well, unless you're using mincemeat or soup or bird's nests or something. But, assuming you're soaping correctly, you cannot soap incorrectly. Bars of soap and liquid soap are equally valid, contingent on preference and pre-existing skin conditions. I think the war between bar users and liquid users has gone on far enough. Okay, next question. No questionnaire on hygiene and cleanliness can be complete without discussing sponges. Its absorbency and non-judgmentally forgiving nature makes it a household name in many, household. Plus, it's just fun to say, isn't it, love? Sponge. Sponge. Spongy, spongy, sping. Spongus! Huh? Oh, sorry, I got caught in a word loop. You know when it just gets weird and you can't stop thinking about it? Glad to hear it. Right. Sponges come in many varieties, only adding to their allure and popularity. But if you were offered a lifetime supply of sponges right now, with the proviso that you can only have it in one basic format forever, which would you go for? Here they come! Interesting choice. I've always found them a little weird myself. It's like washing with inside-out Bermuda shorts. But if you're looking for a body buffer, I'm going to support your choice all the way. They come in vibrant colors, they're easy to dry, and they provide that ever-crucial exfoliation while you clean. So, it gets points for efficiency. And that's it for your Styles Profile TM today. This is what I'd say if I didn't have a brain that very much didn't behave like a sponge. Or maybe it does, at least when it comes to leaking everywhere. Anyway, darling, I'm delighted to say you passed. Because you weren't being graded. Farewell.
Barry's usual sunny smile is nowhere to be found today. He looks surprisingly frustrated with something.
Hello, sweetie. I'm afraid you've caught me at one of my rare, inopportune times. Ready and able as I am to be available at the drop of a hat. Why do they drop hats? Never questioned that one. You know how sometimes you just accept a sentiment and face value, and then suddenly one day you realize you have no idea what it means, and you just said it because people have always said it? I'm gonna have to look that one up. Right, quite right you are, hon. Actually, that's the sticky issue keeping me all too occupied. You know how we were talking about my useless brain having more holes in it than a natural sponge? Don't be self-critical to the point of self-flagellation. It's a unique approach, but I can give it a go. Now, I've been taking the advice to start writing things down so I don't forget them. Look, the first thing I wrote about was you advising me to start writing things down. I even remembered to use yellow eyeshadow to highlight the important things. At least, I think it was yellow? Wait, no. It was orange. Oh, for the first thing I attempt to try and organize my thoughts, and I make a bigger mess than my first 15 attempts at contouring. You're right. That's okay? I'm not sure I follow. I did remember to do that at least, yeah. Yeah, I did the thing. Well, that brings me to the actual problem with the whole writing to remember thing. What do you do when you forget to write stuff down so you don't forget it later? Right? I've managed to jot down some important things, but I keep forgetting to do it. Then I forget the thing I forgot to write down, but I don't forget that I've forgotten it. I just remembered that there's something I forgot to write down and then forgot because I keep forgetting to write things down before I forget them. When I remember, it really has. Whether it's just a to-do list or things you've said to me that I don't want to forget, it feels like getting some sense of control, if that makes sense. It does feel really positive. Like I accomplished something, which is silly when it's just writing a few sentences down. You have such a beautiful way of looking at things. I don't even feel compelled to draw a tenuous simile involving makeup. I just love the way you think. You're right. This is hard for me. Remembering is hard. Focusing is hard. Sometimes it's hard even when I do remember, when I am focused. Sometimes I know I should do something, and I just don't. I'll say I'll do it later, knowing full well I'm just going to forget. Thank you. You're the first one I've met who's just been patient with me. And I include myself there. Well, on that note, I best be off. One thing I did remember to write down is that there's a new boron blocker from Smile Republic that I have heard nothing but rave reviews about. We'll see if it passes the berry test. Oh, and I must make a note to find out what drop of a hat means. So, can I wipe off the old concealer, so to speak, I've got something that's been on my mind a lot since last time we talked. If I'm, like, really, truly honest, I don't think I like me very much. I feel like I've always been, I don't know, too much. I can practically hear eyes glaze over when I talk sometimes. I know when I'm talking too much. I know I can get too into someone's face, like the world's most enthusiastic pore unblocker. It doesn't stop me. I can feel myself dumping information when nobody asked me to, banging on and on about something that interests me, even if I sense I'm pouring the life out of whatever poor soul had to hear it. Well, that's honestly really nice to hear. But, like, with me, I'm always on to some degree, you know? I feel like I've always got to be engaging, always got to be interesting. I've always got to have something to say, because if I don't, I'm just me, and I'm boring. It's funny, really. I talk and talk and talk until people are sick of me, because I'm afraid they'll be sick of me if I don't. Me that's outgoing to a fault, who's overly confident, who's just so fabulous, darling. It's kind of like I'm wearing a mask of my own face. I'm not pretending to be someone else exactly. It's more that I work so hard on projecting what I've always thought was the best version of me, because I'm afraid of people seeing all of me. But I have to admit, holding up the mask is so exhausting. Thank you for hearing me out. It means a lot to feel seen.
Barry greets you with 2 air kisses to either side of your cheek. He's clearly in fine spirits today.
Hello, darling. I could not be happier to see you, you devastatingly brilliant sweetie who I remember enjoys Smile Republic brand tweezers. Not bad, eh? You know, I do very much believe it is. At least some of the time. But some of the time is better than none of the time, right? Seriously, thank you. This doesn't fix things, but it helps. Like a good concealer over a particularly stubborn zit. Except, well, I suppose that analogy doesn't work because that's just masking the problem. And I feel like I don't need to mask my problems so much anymore. It's okay that I've got a brain like an explosion in a lip gloss factory. It's still not easy to remember. It is easier, though. It's the difference between wiping the lippy toward the mouth instead of away, you know? I'm so glad you do. Sometimes I think the whole makeup metaphors get a bit too overdone, darling. It's a bit like when you don't remove last night's makeup and try to fix it up the next day, and you let that ride another day, and eventually you've painted over yourself so much it's all gone flaky and weird. What were we talking about? Right. Oh, question. What do you think of toucans? Yes! Sorry, off topic, I know, but like, I've been getting really into toucans lately. They're just really neat with their big old beaks, and oh my god, they're so pretty, right? I've been trying to work out my favorite toucan. They're all just so aesthetic. You've got the Togo toucan, or Toucan Classique as I call it. A timeless black and white look with the iconic yellow beak offset by deep blue eyes. But there's also the chestnut-mandibled toucan with a diagonal color split down the bill, contrasting a rich yellow against a brooding maroon. Oh yeah? Wonderful! I was just about to gush over the keelbill. Its beak is mostly green, but it has this bright red tip that fades into orange in a streak that almost looks painted on. It's just on the right side of garish, and I'm pretty sure I've got just the right combination of shades somewhere around here. But if you're looking for something with a little more blue, you need look no further than a Chanel-billed cutie. Has this amazing pastel around the eyes and a more sky-tone blue at the base of the beak. Really gives me some ideas for a look. Not big on toucanettes, though. Bit too drab for my tastes. Oh, well, same, darling. You're definitely someone I could hyperfixate on. Oh, wait, no, that sounded creepy, like a stalkery thing. It was a callback to, like, how... with what we were talking about and the stuff, and you know what? I'll just make a note not to say that in future. I'm starting to think we're a good idea. A simply fabulous one, darling. You're my favorite fixation.